Hi guys, excuse the mess. My name's Bronwyn. I am post sepsis 18 months now, and it's been so hard. Got to excuse me, I've never done this before, so I'm just doing it by trial and error. It's been like I spent the majority of last year in bed. The first 6 months of last year in and out of hospital. And so, this year I've just started exercising and just doing other bits and pieces, trying to lose weight now because I want to get a bariatric bypass done. Okay, so that's a bit about me. So, since sepsis, I've had to retrain myself how to walk. I have a catheter attached to me constantly. I have had to learn how to move properly. I can now walk a little bit unaided, which is really good. And I do naughty things, like I walk from the lounge to the bedroom without my stick, and I get told off because I'm a fool's risk, but these things happen. The other day, my husband and I went out for a drive, and when we came home, he said, right, stay in the car while I get out, get the wheelchair set up. And when he sort of came up onto the deck to open up the front door, I thought, I can't be bothered waiting, stuff it. So I got it out of the car by myself for the first time and stood at the car, shut the door, and my husband goes, "What are you doing?" And I just said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to be walking." And he says, "Well, I hope not." But just little steps like that you take for granted. It's a big achievement when you can really do it. I've had a fantastic district nurse, and she has been with me all the way. She actually saved my life because the day I went into hospital with sepsis, she rang because she was coming to dress a wound, and I said to her, "I really need to see you today. I am not well." And she said, she came around and she said to my husband, "Phone the ambulance now." Apparently my leg was red hot from my toes to my thigh. When the paramedics arrived, I could give them my birth date quite easily. By the time I got to the emergency doors of the hospital, I couldn't give them my birth date. It was in my brain, but it wasn't coming out here. And then I don't remember anything until 4 weeks later, when I sort of more or less came to. My husband been fantastic. He was with me. He would get up in the mornings. He would go to work. He would come home from work, have lunch, feed the cats, come in to see me for a couple of hours, come back home, have tea, come back into the hospital to see me. back home, sleep, and then he'd start the day all over again. He's just been so great. I was in ICU on a ventilator because my blood pressure was too low. When I woke up, I had a feeding tube. And yeah, I was in hospital for 8 weeks. Then I came home for a few days. The day after I came home, I got COVID. So a few days later, I was back in hospital with COVID. Came home. A few weeks later, back in hospital with cellulitis. They got that sorted. I went home, back 3 weeks later. And in the end, my vascular coordinator, or practice nurse, whatever she is, said, right, that's it. She's not going home until she gets a hospital bed, because I was sleeping in my chair. And since then, I've had hardly, I think I might have had 2 infections. And now, if I start getting infections, the nurse just says, okay, back to bed for a couple of days. And go on antibiotics, which we always have on hand. It's just been, there were a lot of times when I just didn't feel as though I could go on anymore, because everything was a battle. I'm so used to getting up, doing things for myself, and all of a sudden I couldn't do anything. I was having to rely on people coming in the morning, get me out of bed if I was getting out of bed, make my breakfast, doing things that I would normally do. Now I'm already up when my carers come, and all they have to do is make my bed, do the dishes, and make me some breakfast. And then I have a carer who does home management, which is they come and clean my house, and they're meant to do that twice a week. I used to have them come in 3 times a week to give me washes, but I do that myself now. So yeah, it's coming. Just been a slow slog. But I love my sloths. As you can see, I have got sloths everywhere. Sloth on my phone, sloths on my blanket. Where is it? Sloths. See? And my progress reminds me of a sloth. Very, very slow, but I'll get there. You know, a sloth is slow, but he's determined, and he always gets to his destination. That's me. Yeah, so I'm going to end there. And I think tomorrow I'll just talk to you about what are some of my hobbies that have kept me busy, and go from there. And then another time I might talk you through the exercises I'm doing 6 days a week, even when I don't like them. Okay, catch you later.